What's up everybody, Chance Jackson here with Realty One Group Prestige here in the Portland metro area. And if you're like me, you've been blasted with constant information on COVID-19, the coronavirus, and all the terrible things that could be happening and how we're gonna have to plan for the apocalypse, and everyone's out shopping for toilet paper for some weird reason. This morning our Governor Kate Brown issued an Executive Order 2012 which requires all Oregonians to stay at home to help alleviate the spread of the coronavirus. Of course, there's some groups of individuals that are allowed to leave and travel for work, but majoritively, most of us are told to stay indoors and at least stay on our own property without coming in contact with other individuals. So because all this is happening, I figured it'd be really important for us to have a conversation today about what you can expect in the real estate market here in Oregon and how to best prepare yourself for it. I want to do a quick little run over about policies that could affect you if you're a current homeowner. If you're currently in a real estate transaction, I want to talk to you about how your transaction could potentially be altered. And as a realtor, it would be irresponsible for me not to tell you what my opinions are based on what I think the future market trend can be doing. So here we go. So for me and my partner, we're stuck in our home. This is actually our Airbnb. We had like 3 to 4 different people cancel out on booking our Airbnb, which took a big bite out of our expected income. And so when it comes to the policies and the things, the way this virus, this pandemic affects homeowners is almost immeasurable. There's a lot of things that are happening right now through the government and through different lending corporations that are trying to hedge the impact of all of these shakeups in our market. For example, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the VA requested that all of their lenders come up with a program to help alleviate the costs for homeowners with their mortgages. So depending on who you're lending through, you can call your lender and say, hey, what kind of assistance programs do you have to help alleviate the burdens of, not being able to work? If you're a landlord, about a week ago, our governor also passed an executive order called 2011 that mandates that no evictions can go through for 90 days. So as of right now, landlords in the state of Oregon cannot evict any tenants for 90 days. I'm sure that there's probably a little bit of wiggle room if you're already in the process of doing an eviction, but that's something to keep in mind. This is definitely a time, if you're a landlord, to walk on some eggshells essentially, not push any strife with your tenants, just kind of be a little bit more casual about a lot of stuff. A lot of people are definitely on edge, and so it's really important to try to be a little bit more sensitive with people that you're working with right now. This brings me to my next topic: how are real estate transactions being affected by this pandemic? So as a realtor here in Portland, our market has been really hot, and so I have a lot of clients that I've been working with across the board. About 5 days ago, I started having some of my buyer clients kind of drop off, just hit me up and they're like, hey, I'm not going to be able to do anything right now. I lost work, I'm out of work, I can't buy a house. So that has definitely shifted my approach when it comes to real estate in Oregon. As of today, we definitely can't do open houses to promote properties as a real estate agent. It's going to be interesting to see some agents shift their marketing and how they go about promoting a property. Obviously, you all know me, I'm really strong with my online marketing. There are some people that aren't, especially if they didn't grow up with that kind of technology. So you can expect to see quite a bit of changes happening in the real estate scene. So the OREF, which is Oregon Real Estate Forums, put out a document today called OREF 096. It's basically a document that allows transactions to have a little bit of leeway with timing. Obviously, because a lot of companies got sent home, there's not a lot of people that are able to function and get things done very quickly and efficiently as they would be if they were in their offices. So because of this, real estate transactions are lasting a little bit longer. As of right now, I can expect that those times would stretch upwards of 100 days, just because it's so hard to get people out of their house. People that are nervous, and that makes sense. I understand why. Look at Black Friday alone, people freak out just to go shopping for that. When there's a pandemic, people are terrified. So that's definitely something to keep in mind if you're in a transaction. I've been advising my clients that are in a real estate transaction that, hey, things are going to take a little bit longer to close. Be prepared and ebb and flow for those changes. This leads me to my next topic that we should discuss: is what is the future of real estate going to look like in Oregon? Well, obviously, I can't predict what's going to happen, so take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt. First of all, we're probably going to lose buyers. About a month ago, open house, full of people that are excited to buy a house, especially first-time home buyers. A lot of these people that are buying houses for the first time are already uncomfortable and they're already kind of paranoid about the process. Throw a pandemic on top of the process, they're going to back up and they're going to take their time with moving forward, which makes complete sense. I totally understand. That's definitely something that I foresee in the future. Supply has been kind of steady over the last few months. With that said, we had a huge spike in demand in our buyers. And so because our buyers are, I'm anticipating our buyers are going to drop down, we're going to hit closer to an equilibrium. If you're a seller, that means that you're not going to have as much negotiating power. You know, it's going to be harder to sell your house. Days on market's going to go up, as I mentioned. So people are going to probably find prices a little bit easier, less competition. I'm assuming we're going to find an equilibrium, coming back into the market in about 2 weeks to a month, hoping that nothing else goes wrong, things don't get worse, and we're going to hit the market hard. And what I mean by that is there's people that have leases that are going to end, and they need to have homes. A lot of these first-time home buyers, they're renters now. Their lease is ending, so they're trying to time it perfectly so they can, purchase their homes at perfect timing. Because of all of this stuff, they're not moving, they're not doing anything. So chances are they're going to flood back into the market. The market's going to rally pretty quickly, especially after everything's dropping. And we're going to see a pretty heavy late spring, early summer. We're probably going to get spikes in real estate transactions. When it comes to sections of the market that I think are going to be hit the hardest by this COVID-19, I think the listing side is going to take a really hard hit on listings that are not vacant. Listings that still have the landlord, the homeowner, or a tenant living in them currently are going to be the hardest to sell. They can't leave their houses. They can't leave their properties. And if they're caught leaving their properties, it's a Class C misdemeanor. So they don't want to get in trouble more than they have to. Plus, people are just paranoid about getting sick in general. So yeah, I wouldn't expect to see these listings fly off the shelves anytime soon. With that said, if you're a real estate agent and you're watching this, put your opinion in the comments. If you are a person that's interested in doing a real estate transaction, but you're kind of nervous about it, shoot me a message or put something in the comments. Let's start the conversation, kind of get people open to understanding a little bit more about what's going on and how we can work as a community to help make these real estate transactions thrive. And so it's really important that we do what we can to keep this city thriving. And this is one of the greatest cities in the world, in my opinion. And I feel like we have the opportunity to make a difference. And so with that said, if you're interested in doing a real estate transaction or you want to learn more, make sure to subscribe, shoot me a personal message. I'd love to talk to you and make things work, make things happen. Stay safe, stay 6 feet from one another, and we'll see you all soon.